We're understanding what it takes to be a good football team, and it starts on Monday. It starts on Monday. You got Forest Hill coming in, homecoming. Got another one, got to take care of business next week, guys. Good job.
Let's go ahead and give a golf clap for our fans coming up here on a Thursday. Thank you. Thank you. I know it was inconvenient and everything, but thank you for coming up here and being a part of that. It makes us play better when y'all come up here.
Next week, we got Stone County. We pick homecoming games before we really realized how good the teams all were playing. And if I had to do it over again, I would have picked somebody else.
You would like to pick someone that you think you can beat, obviously. That doesn't always work out to be like that, but that's kind of the general purpose. You don't want to pick, like us in West Jones. We would never pick each other for homecoming.
I can't imagine this community without either one, a homecoming or a football team.
During homecoming week, of course, we have the dress-up days. The kids dress up, and then the parade, then, of course, the court. We have our crowning of the queen before the game, and she doesn't know who she is until that night.
We practice in the rain, and these girls love it no matter if it's rain or shine or any time.
Without a football game, there wouldn't be homecoming. I understand that, but for these girls that got a homecoming made, hey, it's a great honor for those girls.
Marley's career goals include attending the University of Mississippi, where she plans to receive a doctorate in pharmacy.
Homecoming here is still like a lot of other places I've been. You'll have people that maybe don't make it to other games that have come to this game, that are living out of town, but they'll come back for the homecoming game.
Different classes that have already graduated come back and meet together and have fun.
Homecoming theme this year would be Thanks for the Memories, and it's to do with the 20 years that consolidation has been in effect here.
High school athletics, particularly high school football, is very unifying because you have black kids and white kids, you have rich kids and poor kids, you have kids from one end of the state to the other, and it unifies communities.
In Jones County in 1965, I believe there were 9 high schools, I think, and it cost too much money to support all those schools.
We were used to being at very, very small schools that just had a few hundred students. And what Jones County did was they made 3 high schools, and they took the small communities and divided them in 3 different ways.
You know, when they first came together, they were segregating themselves based on community. A lot of times they segregated themselves based on race.
It was a nervous time for many kids, both black and white. First of all, black kids had no idea what they were getting into. All they knew they wanted to play ball. White kids didn't understand how they were supposed to act in the presence of other black kids.
I think everybody was scared of each other, more or less. Didn't know how this was going to work out.
I was hesitant about going out for quarterback because of my skin color at West Jones, because that wasn't a position that a black guy was supposed to play, which we got a lot of quarterbacks sitting in here now. I think what really helped me was Coach Clark came with me. He said, you play quarterback at Roosevelt, you're gonna play quarterback here. And I ended up playing quarterback. It was accepted, maybe quietly, but deep down, you had a lot of guys on the team didn't like that.
I think football had a great deal in bringing them together and bringing the community together.
We owe a lot to these programs, not just because they bring in money at the gates on Friday night, but they done away with a lot of tension that was going on in the communities and all at that time. These kids had a safe haven to come to, and our coaches actually made this work.
It served as an example for the communities and served as an example for all the adults. You know, if the kids, teams can get along, why can't us as adults get along?
As football progressed, because that was the first step in school, was the football and academics, everybody became more relaxed, more friendly, more outgoing.
I think it took the sport and the desire to win that calmed all those fears among both groups and kind of homogenized it and pulled it all together.
Once you step out on this field, there is no more black and white. It's unity, and it's all about one. A Mustang is green and gold. He's not black and white, and that's just the way it is.
Oh, since 1972, it's just different than day and night.
I can't say our situation was like this because the coaches we had, basically, if you could play, you played. It didn't matter who you was and all that, and what position, you was on the field.
I don't think it's an end-of-the-line situation when you do any one thing in 1 year, but you build on what you got and just try to make it better. Not allow the past to be a thing that we dwell on so much that it controls our present. There's some mighty fine folk in this area, and I commend them for the job they're doing.
For us in Wayne County, consolidation meant consolidating 4 high schools and into 1 high school.
The largest school, of course, was Waynesboro Central on the campus that we're currently at right now. Then you had your county schools, which consisted of Beat 4, Buckatona, and Clara. The bottom line was nobody wanted consolidation to occur the way that it did. Instead of building a school and bringing, everybody together at that new school, everybody was shoved into a school that already existed. So first of all, that's where most of the tension came from.
2,952 registered voters signed a petition trying to undo this.
I think it was just a sense of identity. For so long in the South, you had to have 2 things to be considered a real community or a real town. You had to have a post office, and you had to have a high school. That's hard to get over whenever you lose your high school.
The kids from the county schools, they felt like outsiders when they came here. And the kids that were from Waynesboro Central didn't like these county kids imposing on their way of life.
A lot of them play for their little local peewee team there. Then they play for the local junior high there, and now all of a sudden they're asked to, the people that they've been needing to beat, now they're asked to be on the same team with them.
When Marcus became head coach, he and I would load up different days of the week. We would go to all of the middle schools, even the one here in the city, and talk to the young men about playing football and letting them know that they were welcome. We were excited. We were looking forward to them coming and being a part of our program.
He really got out into the community like nobody ever had. He went to the local campuses, to the little community schools, and he watched them play on their nights. Wayne County High School began to be felt in the presence, of all these feeder schools.
Instead of being Clara Whippets or Buckatona Buccaneers or Beat 4 Tigers or Waynesboro Middle School Panthers, they wanted to show everybody that ultimately you're War Eagles.
They showed Wayne County that all 4 schools, with all this talent, that you can be somebody. And out of those guys, we started taking a step to the promised land.
Winning helps cure a lot of problems, obviously, and I think that's helped. But I think also just us doing the little things, getting involved in those communities with our coaches, I think that's had a tremendous impact also. When you're in those stands, it really doesn't matter how much money you make or how much money you don't make. It doesn't matter what your job is, what your race is. They're all pulling for one team down there.
The great thing about sports in general is it crosses all lines. It's not based on your income. It's not based on where you live. It's not based on who you know. It's based on needs and performance, and that's what's special about the game.
Let's go, defense, let's go!
When you look at the community drives our football here by just being so passionate about it. It makes the kids play harder, it makes the kids perform, and it draws everybody together.
I've always wanted to be a Mustang. My brother was a Mustang. He played here offensive line. I love the crowd, our fans. It's intense.
Chase played for us in 2008, played the first 3 games, and then at that time he got demoted. One of our other kids started coming on, so he moved up on the depth chart, and at that time Chase struggled with giving effort and so forth. Me and Chase had a little run in, I want to say maybe week 9 of last year, and had a disagreement. That happens quite frequently with Chase at times.
Coach Pearson and I got into it. It was halftime, and we were in the locker room, and there was, we were down or something, and I was pumping the team up, doing what I do. And there was a misunderstanding between some boys behind, some other kids behind us that was on the team that was younger, that was messing around or something. And when he looked, it just happened to be me when he walked in, and it was standing up, and he thought it was me. And I tried to explain to him, a bunch of the other seniors players tried to explain to him, but Coach Pearson stuck on something. That's just in his mind. And I just felt like, if I'm not going to be treated fairly, and what I was doing was the right thing, I'm not even going to be here.
He saw things one way, I saw it the other way, and basically at that time, Chase had got removed from the team.
Me and Coach Pearson had our words, and I was off the team. Just coming to school, even coming to school wasn't the same. You don't, your day's different, you ain't got to, not thinking about, oh, I got football after this, You just have really no hope for the day. You just come to school and go home. They say you get paid in the long run for staying in school, but the long run just seems like it takes too long sometimes. Just kind of choosing work over school since I didn't have football anymore.
From October to December, he had shut down. I'm talking about shut down socially, shut down academically, and his grades had gotten to the point where he wasn't even going to be eligible to play.
I'd walk in Walmart or some kind of store in town and see somebody, and they talk to me about it and tell me what, you got your whole life ahead of you, but right now you're in high school and you only get that opportunity once. That comes from all sorts of people.
Our kids mess up just like anybody else, but you don't cut them loose and turn them loose. You go back and you get them.
I couldn't stay away from it no longer. I come down here, me and Pearson talked, and we got back to the way we were.
So we brought him in January, started working on his grades, started working on his attitude, got him around some kids we thought were positive role models, and was able to get him up to where he could be eligible to play his junior year, which is this year. But we also had to send him to summer school, which with Chase, that's a major obstacle. So he gave up his summer in order to go to summer school and got eligible to play football this year. And is, different kid from where he was this time last year.
I'm very aware that Coach Pearson, pays, that extra bit of attention to me and a few others. But last week, I got in a little trouble in class. I didn't come back, and Coach Pearson, my discipline was he made me run 50 bleachers. It's not a very easy thing to do. If it wasn't for West Jones football, I don't think I would be here, would have graduated, or be this far, being a junior. Probably would have left a long time ago.
Football at West Jones is the best dropout prevention program we have, because students who maybe start off and they may be at-risk students, they get into the football program and they excel, and then you see like a domino effect where they begin to excel in academics as well.
So you've got a kid that would have dropped out of school his sophomore year, and football is keeping him in school, and he will graduate if he continues on the same path he is. But having said that now, Chase is one, as a coaching staff, that we have a coach that stays on him every day, checks with him every day, and that's Coach Jenna.
They know I love them and I care about them, and I learned a long time ago, you can't actually get on a child unless they know that fact. Because if you start the other way with them, start chewing on them, start hollering at them, or start being aggressive with them as far as really trying to get a lot out of them, they're going to shut you down until they know the fact that you do care about them and you'll do everything you can to help.
We're gonna run for what we did second period, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right? We're gonna enjoy the win, but tomorrow we're gonna hate each other, all right?
Win.
Huh?
Win tomorrow.
Seventh period. Seventh period, all right? Hey, love how you're playing. Just make better decisions during the day.
My father, he got killed in a car accident when I was a baby. So I really wouldn't know how that'd feel, but I'm guessing that's what it'd feel like, a father figure. He's not like a brother or an uncle or nothing. He's somebody that's there and always watching out for you and wants the best for you. He comes to me I want to say every day before prayer, how we going to do today? We're having a good day, we're having a bad day. That's famous words. And no matter what, if I feel like it's going to be a terrible day, I say we're going to have a good one. And I try my best to make it a good one.
There are times out at practice, he's the only one that's really vocal out there. But that's Chase Pineda.
I enjoy watching Chase get the crowd. You can always count on him to see him on the sideline when things are getting slow or somewhat down.
Let's go! You need to get that. Let's go! Let's go!
Our community, I guess you call it a safety net. They just want the best for you, and they try to teach you the best. And if you're falling off, they're gonna try to catch you and pull you back up. It's Mustang family that goes on even when you leave here. Everybody does what they can to help West Jones.
Everything's ordered. Drinks are coming. Hot chocolate's coming. Because it's supposed to be cold. We got sweatshirts ready. We've got plenty of programs that need to be sold.
They sold some last week, but not many.
But I think if we get out at the gate, at the ticket booth,
sold some of them, but if we can get the junior high to sell them.
Would you like to buy a program? Thank you so much. Thank you.
We have a Mustang store where we sell T-shirts, caps, anything to support the program.
We're gonna do about 300 hamburgers. Gonna do about 100 chicken sandwiches and about 200 sausage dogs. And
We also have the concession stand, which we use as a fundraiser.
You just give back. I mean, there's no reason and no motivation other than that. Some of these kids need a lot to be given to. Whether it's a pat on the back, a hamburger, a piece of pizza, a soft drink, ride here or ride there.
Our booster clubs, I want to say they generated maybe $175,000. So that's a lot of money for a high school football team in Laurel, Mississippi. If we got people that come up here and make sure our kids have something to eat during the week, I think it's the one thing where our community doesn't see color, doesn't see race, doesn't see grades. They just see kids, and they see football players.
Thank you, Mr. Ron.
And they're out to help our kids.
This will carry through the weekend for us. They'll play on what we feed them today and tomorrow. And it helps keep our kids healthy.
I am Thomas Cooley. Everybody calls me Tom Bug. I work at Henry's Heat and Air 5 days a week. Try to get off early on Friday for the football games. I am the #1 jug shaker. I do bring the jugs, I do shake them. The main reason we shake these jugs is to support the players, just trying to give them that extra boost. Trying to be the 12th man.
Raising money, getting the turf on